Summoning Technique. Summoning Technique flips the script on Might Guy pulling a giant turtle named Ningame into the fray. Yeah, you heard that right. Guy can summon a massive, tough-as-nails reptile to back him up. Guy slapping down a hand sign, a puff of smoke, and Ningame there. This big guy's no pet. He's a partner, ready to smash enemies or give Guy a boost to leap into action. It's simple but effective. Guy uses a quick seal to call Ningame, who rolls in to fight or act as a moving platform. In the Fourth Great Ninja War, this jutsu shines. Guy summons Ningame to dodge attacks or reposition fast, keeping him in the game against overwhelming odds. It's rare to see Guy lean on ninjutsu, but this move adds a fresh twist to his style. He's not locked into taijutsu, he's got tricks up his sleeve. Ningame's grumpy attitude's a bonus too, making this a quirky, versatile standout in Guy's arsenal. Hey guys, before we continue, a huge shout out to all of you for supporting the channel. We're getting closer to 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without you. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. It really helps bring Naruto fans together and keeps the content coming. Now, Leaf Hurricane. Speed, precision, impact. Leaf Hurricane is a signature taijutsu move that showcases Might Guy's flawless control and overwhelming pressure in combat. By unleashing a rapid series of high and low kicks, he forces his opponent into a defensive scramble, leaving them no room to counter. This is a relentless assault, designed to break through even the toughest defenses. Leaf Hurricane is his relentless, and I'm not done yet. This jutsu transforms Might Guy into a living cyclone, a flurry of high and low kicks that hits like a freight train and leaves opponents buried under a storm of strikes. It's not some sloppy barrage though, it's a masterpiece of precision and flow. Guy starts with a soaring high kick aimed at the head. Think of it like a sledgehammer swinging down from the heavens. Then, before the enemy can blink, he pivots, dropping into a low sweep that cuts their legs out from under them. He chains these moves together so smoothly, it's like he's conducting a symphony of pain. By the time he's done, the poor sap on the receiving end is either flat on their back or too dizzy to stand. One of the best showcases of Leaf Hurricane comes from Guy's first tangle with Kisame Hoshigake, the shark man of the Akatsuki. This wasn't some random brawl. Kisame's a monster, a guy who swings a sword that eats chakra and laughs off most attacks. They've got history too. Kisame's cocky grin and water-based tricks make Hism the perfect foil for Guy's in-your-face taijutsu. In this fight, Guy unleashes Leaf Hurricane with ferocity. He's ducking Kisame's massive swings, then bam, a high kick grazes the Akatsuki's cheek, throwing off his stance. Before Kisame can recover, Guy's spinning low, clipping his legs and sending that giant sword skidding. It's a pivotal moment. Kisame's forced to rethink his game plan, proving Leaf Hurricane can disrupt even the toughest bruisers. Their rivalry's electric, and this jutsu's the spark that keeps it burning. Think back to Guy's sparring sessions with his students, like Rock Lee. Sure, we don't see every training bout on screen, but you know Leaf Hurricane's a staple. Lee's own spin on Leaf Hurricane later on shows how deeply Guy's influence runs. Great Leaf Flash. Great Leaf Flash proves that sometimes one perfect strike is all you need. This move is all about precision, power, and momentum. Instead of overwhelming an opponent with speed or continuous strikes, Guy delivers a single, devastating sidekick that sends his target flying. The sheer impact of the blow can break through defenses, create distance, or even end a fight outright. Unlike many of Guy's techniques that rely on rapid combos, Great Leaf Flash is pure, focused strength. He gathers all of his energy into one strike, ensuring that when his foot connects, it delivers maximum force. The move is particularly effective in one-on-one combat, where Guy uses it to regain control of the battle, knock enemies off balance, or set up follow-up attacks. One of the key aspects of this technique is how well it showcases Guy's raw physical power. His years of relentless training have built up immense leg strength, making this kick far more than just a simple taijutsu strike. Against weaker foes, it's a knockout blow. Against stronger enemies, it's a fight-altering move, proving that Guy's strength alone is enough to shake even the toughest opponents. In a fight, this kick lets Guy take charge. Think of him battling someone like Kisame from the Akatsuki. One solid Great Leaf Flash could shove Kisame back, throwing off his rhythm and giving Guy the upper hand. It's a move that screams his motto: hard work beats talent. Dynamic action. Might Guy's combat philosophy is simple: never stop attacking. Dynamic action embodies this perfectly, a seamless blend of acrobatic movement, rapid punches, and powerful kicks. By flipping toward his opponent, Guy maintains constant pressure, never giving them a moment to recover. This technique is not only about speed, it's about fluidity and momentum. Each strike flows into the next, making it nearly impossible for enemies to counter. It's a perfect representation of Guy's explosive, high-energy fighting style, where offense is the best defense. Leaf Rock Destroying Rise. Might Guy obliterates anything in his way. Leaf Rock Destroying Rise is proof of that. This technique focuses all of Guy's raw strength into a single, devastating elbow strike, capable of smashing through solid obstacles like coral, rock, or even reinforced barriers. It's a statement: nothing stands between Guy and his target. The mechanics are simple but deadly. Guy channels his power into his elbow, turning it into a wrecking ball of destruction. Unlike punches or kicks, which distribute force over a larger area, the sharp point of the elbow concentrates all that power into a single impact zone, maximizing damage. It's a perfect example of how taijutsu is beyond speed or technique. It's also about sheer destructive force. This move shined during the Fourth Great Ninja War, where Guy used it to shatter coral-based restraints that could have left him immobilized. Against an enemy that relied on restricting movement, Guy turned the tide in an instant, proving that pure physical strength can counter even the trickiest jutsu. Morning Peacock. Speed, heat, power. Morning Peacock is an inferno unleashed at supersonic speed. The moment Might Guy opens the sixth gate, Gate of View, his body surges with overwhelming energy. His fists blur, moving faster than the eye can follow, striking so rapidly that friction ignites the air itself. The result? A breathtaking spectacle, flames bursting outward, forming the shape of a magnificent peacock's tail. It's an attack that engulfs the enemy in a storm of relentless force. To execute Morning Peacock, Guy doesn't rely on chakra-based ninjutsu or genjutsu. His weapon is pure taijutsu mastery, honed through years of back-breaking training. By unlocking the sixth gate, his speed and strength surge beyond human limits. His fists generate heat through sheer velocity. The opponent is trapped in a flurry of flaming strikes, unable to counter or escape. This technique is about dominating the battlefield with raw, untamed power. One of the most legendary moments in Naruto comes when Guy uses Morning Peacock against Kisame Hoshigaki during their second battle. The monstrous Akatsuki member, infamous for his immense chakra and durability, had proven nearly unstoppable. But against the Morning Peacock, even Kisame couldn't withstand the heat. Guy's fists rained down in a fiery storm, reducing him to a charred, motionless heap. The battle ended not with a drawn-out struggle, but with an explosive, decisive finish, a testament to how far Guy had pushed himself. Daytime Tiger. If a Sakujaku is a relentless storm of fire, then Hiradora is a single, earth-shattering explosion. Might Guy's fists no longer burn with flames. This time, they command the air itself. By opening the seventh gate, Gate of Wonder, he pushes his body beyond its limits, channeling raw power into a single strike. One punch, one devastating shockwave. The compressed air erupts forward, shaped like a massive white tiger roaring across the battlefield with the force of a missile. This is a force of nature, unstoppable and absolute. Unlike most taijutsu techniques, Hiradora isn't a direct physical blow. Instead, Guy compresses air with his sheer speed and strength, launching it toward his opponent like a cannon blast. The impact is an instant detonation, expanding on contact and obliterating everything in its path. This technique is proof of Guy's adaptability. In close combat, he's untouchable. At range, he's just as deadly. Hirudora first made its mark against Kisame Hoshigaki. The monstrous Akatsuki warrior, known for tanking massive attacks, stood no chance. The moment the tiger struck, he was sent flying, engulfed in a violent explosion. But the true test came later, against Madara Uchiha. Even against a near-invincible foe, Guy refused to back down, unleashing Hirudora with unmatched intensity. Though it didn't finish Madara, it forced him to acknowledge Guy's strength, a feat few could claim. Evening Elephant. Evening Elephant is Might Guy unleashing a barrage of punches so wild it feels like the earth. When Might Guy opens the 8th gate of death, he is betting his life on every strike. At this stage, his body burns like a living flame, muscles tearing apart with each movement. And from that blazing inferno, he delivers Evening Elephant, a technique so overwhelming that it shakes even the strongest foes. Evening Elephant is a 5-stage barrage, with each punch creating a massive air shockwave that crushes everything in its path. What makes this technique terrifying is the escalation. Each consecutive strike hits harder than the last, multiplying the damage until the final blow is strong enough to tear through almost any defense. Unlike his other attacks, which rely on speed and precision, this is pure brute force, taken to its absolute peak. This technique was at its most legendary when Guy faced Madara Uchiha, the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. At that point, Madara was practically a god, shrugging off the combined efforts of the entire shinobi world. But when Guy activated the 8th gate, the impossible happened. Madara felt fear. The force of Evening Elephant sent him reeling, breaking through even his monstrous durability. The battlefield itself crumbled under the impact, with each punch sending shockwaves powerful enough to shatter the ground beneath them. Yet, the most striking part of Evening Elephant is not about its power, it's the cost. With every punch, Guy's body breaks down, his muscles tearing apart, his bones on the verge of shattering. But he doesn't stop. He can't stop. For him, this battle is about proving that sheer willpower can defy even fate itself. Night Guy. When Might Guy opens the 8th gate of death, it's a final, all-or-nothing gamble where every move could be his last. After unleashing the full potential of the 8 gates, Guy's body undergoes a complete transformation. His muscles swell with power, his speed skyrockets, and his senses become razor-sharp, but at the cost of his own life force. This isn't merely taijutsu, it's a life-or-death technique, and its ultimate manifestation is Night Guy, a technique so destructive that it leaves no trace of mercy. Night Guy is the culmination of everything Guy stands for. To execute this technique, he draws on every ounce of strength in his body, channeling it into one final devastating kick. With a force so immense that it distorts the very space around him, Guy hurls himself forward at a speed so fast that even time seems to bend. At the moment of impact, the world trembles. A massive shockwave erupts, a red flash so bright that it blinds the battlefield. The sheer power behind the kick is enough to send ripples through reality itself, making even the ground beneath them quake. This technique was most famously used during the 4th Great Ninja War, when Guy faced Madara Uchiha, who had become the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. Madara, a godlike being at the height of his power, was unyielding and invincible, brushing aside attacks from even the most skilled shinobi. Yet, when Guy launched Night Guy, everything changed. For a split second, Madara was caught off guard. The kick landed squarely on his body, and the shock of the attack was enough to rattle even the mighty Madara. Though the blow didn't completely defeat him, it was a moment of sheer shock for someone who had become so accustomed to being untouchable. In that moment, Guy proved that even the impossible could be challenged. However, the power of Night Guy comes with a devastating cost. The moment the kick is delivered, Guy's body begins to disintegrate. His bones snap, His muscles tear, and his life force evaporates with each ounce of energy expelled. The damage is so immense that Guy's body is left on the brink of collapse. He doesn't have long before his body gives out entirely. The attack is the ultimate sacrifice, a final act of defiance against fate itself, proving that sheer willpower can defy even death. The overwhelming strength of Night Guy, it's the symbolism behind it. Guy isn't fighting for victory alone. He's fighting for the hope of others, for the chance to give his comrades one last chance to win. He's willing to sacrifice everything to protect the world he loves. In the face of absolute despair, Guy demonstrates the true meaning of being a hero, pushing past your limits, knowing that there may be no tomorrow, but still fighting with everything you have. In the aftermath, when the dust settles and the battlefield is littered with the effects of the clash, Guy stands as one of the few who truly transcended the limitations of the human body. Though he's left broken and near death, his act will forever echo throughout the history of the shinobi world as one of the greatest moments of ultimate sacrifice and strength. Twin attacking fangs. Might Guy is best known for his explosive taijutsu, but when the situation calls for it, he proves that he's deadly weapons. Enter twin attacking fangs, his signature twin nunchaku technique, a perfect blend of speed, precision, and relentless offense. Unlike raw fist fighting, Soshuga allows Guy to control the battlefield against multiple opponents. His attacks become a whirlwind of destruction, with each strike landing before the enemy can react. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Guy used twin attacking fangs to tear through enemy forces, proving that he is a weapon specialist when needed. This technique highlights his adaptability, showing that even a taijutsu master can excel beyond pure martial arts. Whether with his fists or his nunchaku, one thing remains certain: facing Might Guy is never a good idea. Double dynamic entry. Double dynamic entry is Might Guy and Rock Lee teaming up to deliver a double dose of flying kick chaos. Imagine the duo syncing up perfectly, two green blurs charging in unison, legs cocked back, ready to slam into their target with twice the oomph. It's dynamic entry on steroids. Guy and Lee launch their signature kicks together, hitting like a pair of runaway trains. The impact so wild, it sends foes tumbling, totally blindsided by the tag team assault. This move's all about teamwork. Guy and Lee time their leaps down to the millisecond, striking with flawless harmony. It's a teacher-student combo that doubles the surprise and power of the original. You'll catch this gem in filler episodes or games, like when they take on random ninja squads. Picture them soaring through the air, shouting about youth, and flattening a gang of thugs in one glorious crash. It's a blast to watch, pure energy and connection, showing how tight their bond is. Double dynamic entry's a fan favorite for that teacher-pupil vibe, amplifying the shock factor and proving two kicks are way better than one. Dynamic entry. Dynamic entry is a statement, a high-speed, high-impact flying kick designed to overwhelm opponents before they even react. Control. Guy's relentless training in taijutsu allows him to launch into dynamic entry with surgical precision. It's about dictating the flow of battle. Need to interrupt an opponent mid-jutsu? Dynamic entry. Need to break through enemy formations? Dynamic entry. The move isn't flashy for the sake of it. It's a tactical weapon, fine-tuned for maximum impact. Of course, with Guy, things don't always go as planned. The Jiraiya incident is proof. Mistaking the Toad Sage for an enemy, Guy rockets in at full speed, only to flatten one of Konoha's strongest shinobi. The aftermath? Jiraiya groaning in pain, Guy apologizing like his life depends on it. A hilarious reminder that even the most refined techniques can have unintended consequences. In the Fourth Great Ninja War, Guy used it against Obito Uchiha, a nearly untouchable opponent. In a battlefield of chaos, his kick connected, shaking Obito for a crucial moment. Against an enemy of that caliber, every second counts, Proof that this move, when used right, is more than just an entrance. It's a game changer. Thanks for watching till the end. See ya!